Well, hello everyone. I'd say
Hello
Merry
there,
Christmas,
somebody.
but that was yesterday. So I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate.
It's not New Year's yet, so we're still in fun time zone.
So,
But
what did you get for Christmas, Neil?
well, let's see. I got a couple Dragon Ball things, sensu beans, some blankets, some clothes, the typical shit. And then the biggest was a brand new PC, so I can finally do proper editing on my fucking computers. And it's a beast. It has the RTX 3070, which apparently is a high end, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1,000 gigabytes of space. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. I love it. It's
Nice.
AS something. I don't remember what the heck the brand is, but that doesn't matter. It's a really, really good computer. Now I can actually make videos.
Nice. I didn't get a computer.
You wish, right?
I got some things though. I got Bayonetta 3, Pokemon Scarlet.
Which that could be its own video for another time.
Yeah. Sonic Frontiers. I got a physical copy because when we reviewed the game, I only had a download, so I got a physical copy of Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, I honestly felt like I had to buy the game twice because it deserves it.
I got some movies, and I got a GTA San Andreas in the original Xbox. That was a thing.
For some reason.
And then I got a signed pop vinyl of Super Saiyan Goku by Straw and Shovel, so that was cool.
I always thought he didn't like signing stuff because I remember he made a big stink about it one time, a couple years ago, maybe almost a decade ago. Like he got wind of people would like take his stuff that he signed and they put it on eBay and sell it extraordinarily high. He hated it.
I mean, hey, I got something signed by him, so I'll take it.
Hey, I don't like to. I'm not the scumbag that will get something signed by someone popular and then sell it off. I still have something signed by AVGN. Some call me Johnny. I'm fine. I'll keep that shit. So,
but that's not really what we're here to talk about.
No. Today we're here to talk about the bullshit story and chaotic, crazy, weird, confusing story of Kingdom Hearts, the franchise. Because this is going to be put into parts because trying to do Kingdom Hearts 1 all the way to 3, well, actually, Melody and Memories, because that's the newest entry, is impossible to do in one video.
Not gonna happen.
No. It's going to be split up between the HD releases, 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, stuff like that. And then 3 will be, I think, its own thing. Yay. So, should we start with Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yeah, let's do that. So, Kingdom Hearts is an interesting concept, to say the least.
Yeah. About 20 years old.
I remember when I first saw the trailer for this, I was like, huh?
I didn't even see a trailer for it. I just heard about it. And then
I saw a commercial on TV. I was like, is that Donald Duck and Goofy with like a Super Saiyan? Like, what's going on here?
A Super Saiyan. It's like, it looks like Cloud.
I had never played Final Fantasy before. So, this is actually my first Square Enix game that I ever played. No, the second Square Enix game I ever played. The first one was Bushido Blade.
I think this is the first one I've ever played, actually. Well, no, I think I played a little bit of 2 first, then went back to 1, but I don't remember anything about 2 before playing 1.
So I had no context of what this game was. I had no idea.
Same.
And, I bought it one day on a whim. I was like, okay, sure. And it's something else, man.
It's such a simple game, but at the same time, it can be a little bit out there in terms of storytelling. I'm not going to say Kingdom Hearts has the best storytelling. It doesn't. It's just there's so many tropes that they use that are like, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, but like the gameplay is well, no, actually, we'll get to the gameplay after the beginning of the story. beginning of the story, the first section, and then we can explain the gameplay, how that works.
Something about Kingdom Hearts is far different from, say, Final Fantasy. Kingdom Hearts is an ongoing narrative.
Yeah. Christ.
Yeah.
Better or for worse.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Kingdom Hearts, generally speaking, is about Sora. It's about a guy named Sora.
Yeah, he's like, what, 14, 15 in Kingdom Hearts 1?
Something like that. He made a fucking shitstorm when he was in Smash. Oh my god. But
I know, I can't believe Sora from Kingdom Hearts got his own appearance in Smash Bros.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So, like, you have this, like, ridiculous opening sequence.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
Of, like, Sora and his friends on a beach, and he, like, falls through the beach into, like, this weird parallel dimension on, like, these last shards, like, Disney characters. It's really weird.
I think it's technically called Destati. That's at least the soundtrack name, so I just call that place Destati. But it's not even before that. Like, the whole opening sequence is very bizarre. Sora's on the beach. He's looking at Riku in the water. Yes, Riku is a character in this game that he is friends with. He looks back at Sora. There's a giant tidal wave coming in. Sora tries to grab his hand, and all of a sudden he gets trapped in the water. And then for some reason he's standing there with Kairi, looking at himself falling through the sky. He falls through the floor, and then he goes down into the ground, and then he appears in Destati. What?
Well, all the areas have, like, the design of, like, the Disney princess on them, like Snow White, Cinderella, Ariel, Belle.
Yeah, it's very strange why they even have them there, but it's a cool place. I like it.
You get to there, and you wake up on Destiny Island, is what it's called.
Well, of course, before that, you get a little taste of combat, because the game will ask you, do you want to have the sword, the shield, or a wand? If you are an attacker like me, you'll go for the sword, but if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, you want to go with the shield.
The best bet's the shield, generally speaking.
Yeah.
The best bet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but when you grab one, you have to give up one, so I give up my magic, so I still want my attack. And then it just gives you a tutorial. You can lock on enemies. You don't have analog camera control. You only can, at least in the original release, you can only use L2, R2 to change the camera. So it was kind of clunky, but it still worked for a 2002 game like that.
It was a little on the awkward side.
Yeah, but it's still pretty solid, I'd say. It holds up really well. I don't even think this game honestly needs a remake. That's how solid it holds up today.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like you said, you just wake up on the beach again from Kairi wakes your ass up.
And that is like fetch questy stuff. Like, nothing really relevant happens here, but Titus or Titus Waka probably has his head or his little and are here as little kids.
What's her name is there too with the rope thing?
I don't remember who that is.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, but I can't remember who that is.
Yeah, they're just kind of there. But what's creepy is during the Destati part, you do get a brief like show off of the island, but all three of those characters are just kind of standing in place, asking you certain like questions, like, do you want how do you feel about this? What do you want to do with this? Yada yada, and that somehow determines how you level up in the game.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's playing that creepy music and not creepy, but really like symphonic orchestrated music in the background. It's just really unnerving. It's like a nightmare, really.
At the same time, while all this is going on, you go to like Disney Castle and like Mickey's missing. And like Minnie and Daisy send Donald and Goofy to go find them in this thing called a gummy ship that is like controlled by Chip and Dale.
Yeah, they were supposed to not tell anybody, but then they found out. It's like, good job, Goofy.
Of course.
What's interesting is you were supposed to be able to go to Disney Castle in the first game, I believe, because it has collision detection and everything. But no, they never go there.
You won't go there until the second one.
Yeah, so I think what they did was they just took what they had with Kingdom Hearts 1's design of the castle and just was like plopped it into. That's what I think anyway.
So some weird fuckery happens. Like you meet this weird dude in a cloak.
Yeah, and he's not even a physical body. It's just like a spirit in a cloak.
And then you get something called a Keyblade.
Yeah, this is after when you go back to the island when you see that there's a storm going on. Like, what the hell? So you go there, and then there's all these like weird dark creatures everywhere. You can't hurt them, so you go into you go find. No, you don't find Riku first, do you? Do you go find Riku first, and then that door appears, and you go in there in the secret spot?
Dude,
Because
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played Kingdom Hearts.
I think you meet up with Riku first, and then he gets absorbed by the darkness, and then the Keyblade appears in your hands, and then you just go around beat the shit out of some of these heartless things.
Which actually, if you wanted to sit there for hours and grind, you could do it.
Yeah, I leveled up to maybe 8 or 9 before I said fuck it, because you only get 1 XP per kill. So yeah, some madman did it though. Got to level 99 on Destiny Islands. I couldn't do it. I would never be able to do it.
I would lose my patience. I would lose my patience.
Yeah, me too. At least you could save and then always like come back to it a different day, but still, that would take so long. But yeah, this is the last time you ever run around Destiny Islands in an open free sense. Every other game after this does not have a way to play on Destiny Islands. Kingdom Hearts 3 kinda does, but it's like a photo mode. It's nothing really crazy. You're only allowed to be on one of these like circular platform areas with a tree. It's like, okay.
And then like you end up in this weird place called Traverse Town.
Yeah, and then you got people who are wrong calling it Traverse Town. And I'm just like, you need to fucking stop right now.
It's
Stop
Traverse
trying to be
Town.
cool. Stop trying to be a hipster. It's Traverse Town,
And,
not Traverse.
But like Yuffie is there, and Aerith is there, and Squall from Final Fantasy VIII is there, and Sid is there, and you're like, why the fuck are all these Final Fantasy characters here?
Yeah, and this is one thing that I liked about Kingdom Hearts is that mixture of Final Fantasy, which they Nomura kind of said fuck Final Fantasy after Kingdom Hearts 2 for a while.
Yeah, he did.
Because you ever notice that there really hasn't been any? There was like only maybe one Final Fantasy character that was introduced between that and the DLC for 3. It was fucking Zack. I was like, what?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and Birth by Sleep in 2010 was the last time we saw a Final Fantasy character in Kingdom Hearts until 3.
Well,
9 years later.
Mostly picked characters from Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 10 are usually the only ones in here.
Yeah, there's no 1 through 6. We don't have X-Death, which would be fucking hilarious.
No, but you have Sephiroth and Cloud.
Yeah, and Sephiroth is a different beast in this game.
We'll talk about Sephiroth later.
Yeah.
So, like, you go to Traverse Town, and they explain to you that these things attacking you are called Heartless, and they want the Keyblade, I guess.
Yeah, and they want to, and during this time, Donald and Goofy are looking for you. Like, you always miss them. Like, you go through a door, they come out another door you just came through. It's kind of funny. You have to do it enough times till you reach a certain point.
They help you during a boss battle.
Which can really fuck you over if you're not leveled up properly or you don't know how things work, like items and all that stuff. I always got fucked over there.
Here's the thing. At this point, Donald and Goofy are your 2 main party members.
And Donald doesn't know who yet.
Donald and Goofy.
And they're the goats. I'll tell you that.
And then you get this thing called a gummy ship, which allows you to try. This is weird, as it's an RPG, but it's actually more of a level-to-level game.
Yeah, it plays like an action RPG, but these are all like just segmented in the different areas.
Yeah, so like now you have the ability to open up, and you can go to either Wonderland, Deep Jungle, or I believe Olympus Coliseum.
Yeah, well, first it's either Wonderland, Olympus Coliseum, and then you can go to Deep Jungle because you have to be 1 in order to get to Deep Jungle.
No, you don't.
Are you sure?
Positive. I did Deep Jungle before I did Wonderland the first time I played the game.
Did you do it before Olympus Coliseum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought you couldn't do that one until at least you did one of the first places you go to, because it's question marks and all that stuff.
Olympus Coliseum is based on Hercules, and it's mainly just an enemy gauntlet. There's not a lot to do here.
Apparently, there wasn't going to be any story to that area, but they just thought, "Fuck it."
They changed that a lot in 2, and we'll get back to that.
As much as a piece of shit that James Woods is, he's pretty damn good as Hades in this game.
Then you have Wonderland based on Alice in Wonderland.
That's the world I would recommend going to first, because
it's the easiest world. It's the easiest world.
Yeah. It's a little more of it's probably the most confusing world in terms of like where to go at first. But
yeah.
Like, this is where you can get Blizzard early if you get all these things to prove Alice's innocence, so the Queen doesn't kill her. You'll from the Cheshire Cat, you'll get Blizzard. I was like, ooh, okay.
And then Deep Jungle is actually the toughest of the 3 initial worlds.
Oh my god, yeah. Make sure you know how to use potions against the final boss, because you will get fucked. But the great thing about finishing Deep Jungle is that you get Cure. And Cure is so much better in this game than any other game coming forward.
And Deep Jungle is the first world in the game where you can actually replace one of your party members.
Mm-hmm.
So Deep Jungle is based on Tarzan. So if you wanted to, you could swap out Donald or Goofy and put Tarzan in instead.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it now, because I always just stick with Donald and Goofy because they have the abilities I want for, taking care of enemies. But
I actually do swap them out. I'm not gonna lie.
I would, but like, there's Trinity things you can find that only could be done with Donald and Goofy, and I don't really feel like backtracking sometimes. But as a kid, I always would swap out someone with Tarzan or any other.
I just think it's cool that you can have alternate party members, so I do it.
But yeah, this is something that would be.
I'm not going to really go over the story in each world, because each world is based on the movie.
So. Yeah, relatively, yeah, they are. Some are a little different, but not by much. Very abridged.
Neverland is very different.
Yeah, one thing they fixed in Kingdom Hearts 3 is that you can have every party member out, Donald, Goofy, and then insert this character here. I was like, okay. Yeah, that was a nice thing. I wish they could do with Kingdom Hearts 1. Maybe if they remade it, I don't know.
I already complete that initial set. Then I think you unlock Agrabah,
Halloween Town, and Atlantica, and then Monstro.
And Monstro just appears, like out of nowhere.
He appears on either route, I believe, but he mostly appears on the route to the Halloween Town.
Well, yeah, because he can just jump you.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's necessary to go in there, honestly, because that's where you get high jump, story stuff. And one thing that's interesting, a nice attention to detail, is that if you don't go to Neverland and do Monstro first, Riku will help you in the battle against one of the boss that Pinocchio gets taken by. But if you beat Neverland first, then go to Monstro, Riku will not help you out or talk to you. You'll just leave.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's so weird. Someone pointed out, they showed 2 alternate cutscenes. I was like, no way.
I always do Monstro before Neverland.
Yeah, not many people would ever think to do that, but someone did, and they're like, well, look at that. There's an extra different cutscene. Huh.
Yeah, so Monstro, if you don't know, is based off Pinocchio. Sort of.
Sort of, kind of. Yeah, I think that probably is its most original story. Because there's no point in Pinocchio where you are in the whale, and Pinocchio and Geppetto are doing things in the whale.
I mean, they're in the whale in the movie at one point, but,
But they don't do anything in there. It's but in here, you go through Monstro's insides, and it's all weird as shit. And I don't like that world. It's probably my least favorite.
I think
because of the navigation.
Is it 358? Is it Dream Drop Distance that finally has a proper Pinocchio world?
Yeah, Dream Drop Distance does. I don't really remember it very much. I like a lot of the worlds in that game just kind of bleh, very bleh.
Anyway,
they Hunchback of Notre Dame. That would have been an amazing world, but no.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Well, I mean, without proper context, these don't make sense.
Halloween Town is kind of terrible.
honestly like Halloween Town.
I like it a
great
lot
music.
more than Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, because it's more like streamlined. Because
they also add the Christmas stuff.
yeah, because in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's only Halloween Town, and it's a lot more explorative than Kingdom Hearts 2's version. I God, I like Halloween Town in both games.
Jack Skellington can run around with you, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's funny. He doesn't run. He like steps really fast forward because he's so damn tall.
Agrabah, also not my favorite world.
It is bad in the Agrabah section, but in the Cave of Wonders, it's not bad at all.
And again, because, Aladdin can run around with you, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing that we didn't mention is that most of the Disney villains are working with Maleficent to get the 7 princesses of Hot to unlock the keyhole to something. They never really specified.
That Maleficent's the main villain. She's not.
She's like the second main villain, really.
We'll get to who the main villain is later, but
yeah. So after that, you have the worst world in the game. The worst.
Oh, Atlantica. Oh my god.
As much as I hate it in Kingdom Hearts 2, at least it's just a very brief 3-4 minute song every time. This is like, you can explore everything, but the controls are so fucking weird. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 would get this right, the underwater controls, but this game just like feels so fucking slow and clunky and bad and like in terms of level design. Like if you're like, oh, how do I get here? And you go through every damn pathway and you have to find the most obscure way to get there. Like with dolphins going through these jet turbine looking fucking things where like water's rushing through tunnels. I hate it. And the boss sucks too.
Oh god. After those worlds,
there's Neverland.
Neverland.
Hollow Bastion. And then the end.
I think you have to do Hollow Bastion last.
No. Well, technically it's not the last world, but after you have to do all those other worlds first, then you go to Hollow Bastion. Then you have to take a second trip there, and then from there you go to the end of the world, which is honestly one of the most creepy worlds, in my opinion, for Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why. It just creeps me out. It's just such a weird trip going through there. But that's getting ahead of the plot, really. So, yeah, Sora can get upgraded with things like magic and what else? Like these special moves like Ragnarok, Arcanum, just a bunch of really cool things. Only problem is on the PS2 version is that they're locked to you have to push the D-pad up or down to get to the menu to use it, but in the HC remaster they just put it to the triangle button or Y button, depending on if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation. And pretty damn nice. And like you can push triangle to open chests now, and you don't have to open it with the menu. It's stupid. And there was something else they changed. I think it was talking to people. I can't remember. But yeah, this game is very explorative too. Like it's a lot more platform heavy than any other game after this until 3.
Yeah, and the platforming's not great.
It's not. It's clunky as shit.
Until you get What's interesting about Hollow Bastion is the partner you have is the Beast.
Yeah, for some reason he's the character they chose, which is fine because he's my favorite of the partners.
Oh, he's the most powerful one in this game.
For sure.
He's not in Kingdom Hearts 2, but
yeah, he is.
He's not the most powerful partner in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, I thought you said he wasn't in Kingdom Hearts 2 at all. Like I was like, wait,
no,
what?
He is. He's a Beast Castle, but he's not the most powerful partner in Kingdom Hearts 2. Not by a long shot.
No.
But,
sorry. I'm trying to clean my glasses off.
When you get to the end of the world, the main villain reveals himself.
Technically, the main villain reveals himself in Hollow Bastion.
Oh yeah, you
because
fight Riku and then it's not really Riku.
yeah, it like you've heard about this villain throughout the game if you read
Ansem.
the Ansem notes and just pay attention to the plot in general. You'll know who
Yeah,
he is, just don't know what he looks like.
because Riku's been a dick the whole game, but I guess it's not really Riku, it's Ansem.
No, it's Riku all the way up until the point where he ends up like getting his ass beat by Sora and Halabash. He's like, "Why can't I win?" And then he runs into Ansem in that cloak that from the beginning of the game, and he ends up just like fusing his body with Riku. So then he becomes the Ansem Riku that we fight later on, a little bit later on. And then he detaches himself from Riku and is able to have a physical body again. And that's why
Yeah.
Ansem, and it kind of explains why Ansem looks slightly different than what we see him as in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like, we took care of Ansem there. Why is he still da 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 da? It's like, why does he look so different? It's like, well, because Riku and Ansem mixed their bodies together and boom, that's why he looks the way he does. Never thought of it that way. I was like, okay, that's cool.
But so Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up defeating Ansem because of course they do.
Through a very weird set of like events, my man. Very weird.
And like they have to close the door to darkness, and then Mickey's there.
Yeah, Mickey was in there the entire time doing something.
Like he has the Keyblade in the realm of darkness.
Yeah, that's explained in Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage. Like why he's in there.
For some reason, he knows who Sora is. He's like, "All right, Sora, we gotta do this." Something like that.
Yeah, like what? I don't know how he knows him, but whatever.
And then fucking
Riku is on the other side of the door.
Riku's like, "Okay, I'll find you later," or something like that. And
like, take care of her.
And, like you try to go save Kairi, and you guys get separated, and then like
they're the dumbest shit too. It's like, why don't you just jump on the other side with her?
Because then you can't have when you walk
away. You know, that's just so cheesy now. Like, oh my god.
You know, I mean, Kingdom Hearts, they were clearly sequel baiting, and like, I wish they didn't, because what if this game had failed?
Yeah, this game was supposed to be a one-off idea, but I think Square Enix was seeing the reception being really high, so they're like, we're probably gonna have to make a sequel, so that's why they did that. It wasn't
sequel, just one sequel, okay.
Yeah, then they went a little overboard. Okay, but very overboard.
The game just kind of ends.
Yeah, with them looking for Riku and Mickey, and then they just run off into the sunset, not sunset, but the hills, and then for some reason Donald and Goofy have their regular clothes again, and they don't in the next game. It's like, what? I don't get it. It's a very strange transition. It doesn't feel like it was written to be a sequel at all.
But
there's a special battle in Kingdom Hearts 1 that's in Final Mix exclusive against the main villain of Kingdom Hearts 2. It's definitely a teaser for 2, and
I forgot what he's called in this one because they don't call him his real name.
No, and there's an extra report that's only in the Final Mix version that talks about nobodies. So
they were definitely setting up Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, but before Kingdom Hearts 2.
No, we haven't finished talking about Kingdom Hearts 1 yet. So we got to talk about the gameplay because we haven't really delved much into the gameplay. It's a weird action RPG hybrid thing. Like,
it's more an action RPG than really anything,
and a platformer to a degree. The combat system in the first game is kind of clunky with the menu. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's better in the HD remaster, but thankfully you can use shortcuts in this game, like holding L1 to bring up your circle, triangle, square, X abilities, like heal, thunder, blizzard, whatever you want to put on there. They have like gravity and stuff, just lots of spells.
Yeah,
And a lot
but
of
like
different keyblades too.
Sora also controls kind of funny in this one.
Running around, it feels kind of like jerky, especially with the camera.
Yeah,
Like, it feels like the
jumping
camera's way too close to Sora in this game.
jumping feels weirder than anything.
Yeah, it feels very weird until you get high jump. Then it feels a little more like you have control of your character.
Yeah.
And
You
then
also have summons, which
you got glide too, which really helps.
yeah, so like you could summon just like in Final Fantasy, but instead of something like Ifrit or Bahamut, you summon Simba or Tinkerbell or Dumbo or Mushu
Yeah, there
or
was it's
Bambi.
funny. Next, the Kingdom Hearts 2 was supposed to have a Final Fantasy summon.
Could you imagine summoning Bahamut?
Dude, I've seen the concept art for it. It was fucking huge.
Was it supposed to actually be Bahamut?
I don't know if it was Bahamut, but it was fucking huge, man. Like, I don't know what the hell it was. You'd have to look it up because I was like, what?
So one of the things that defines this game is the Kingdom Hearts. One of the things that defines it, now I'm repeating myself, is the crossover between Disney and Final Fantasy.
And it was said to be a Disney Final Fantasy crossover, but Nomura is saying, "Oh, it's not really that actually." It's like, shut up. That's what it is. You abandoned Final Fantasy and made this all about Disney and Sora, so fuck you.
Like Cloud is in the game in
He
Olympus
looks weird.
Coliseum. He looks really weird. And then you have
I don't like.
one of the games like two super bosses, which is Sephiroth.
Yeah, you got that the Titan, the Ice Titan, and then the Final Mix exclusive. What's it called? Zemnis battle, we'll call it.
Well, I don't know what they call him in this game, but
Me neither. I don't remember what his name is either. But he's definitely a thing, and he's pretty hard, but not
they
like.
all are. Sephiroth is just Jesus Christ.
After a while, I can kind of understand his movements and how to beat him, but the only one I really hate more is the Zemnis battle.
No, but
It's
that
just
one
so
winged angel,
ridiculous.
that one winged angel remix is.
It didn't sound very good on the PS2 version, but in the HD remaster from PS3 onward, it sounds really good. Like they reorchestrated all the
Oh,
music.
speaking of the music, holy crap!
Yeah, this game's got a
This game,
stellar soundtrack. Yoko Shimomura, oh my gosh, she is so damn good at this shit.
the voice acting is also spectacular, especially for the Disney character.
And especially for the time too. Like 2002, dubbing for Japanese games still wasn't very good.
Well, they got all the people who voiced the characters in their original source material to do the voices.
Most of them. Most of them.
Well, some would be
There's
like if they didn't voice them in the movie, they voiced them like a TV show or a sequel, straight to DVD sequel or something. So it was people who actually did the characters.
yeah, like with Genie, it's not Robin Williams, it's it's the guy who did it in the TV show. The guy who
Or
voices Homer Simpson.
yeah, exactly. But they did like Chris Sarandon reprised his role as Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
And the guy, I don't know, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's the same dude who voiced Aladdin.
Yeah, that's you can't that's a very distinctive voice. So you could tell if it wasn't him. Hercules was not voiced by the guy who did it in the movie in that game. Kingdom Hearts 2 and onward it was him. Very weird.
Really? It sounds like him.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't him in the first game. It sounds different, like just a smidge different. Where I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
The highlight though is James Woods. I'm sorry, I know he's a cockbag, but
yeah, he did. I respect his work, but not as a human. Like he did a fantastic job of Say's in Kingdom Hearts 1. Does even better in 2. But trying to think of anyone else. Danny DeVito's not in this as what's his name, Phil, which sucks. But I don't think Danny DeVito really would want to spend time on that, to be honest.
true.
He's got better things to do, I imagine, in his mind.
Yeah.
It just sucks that they didn't get him, but it's the sound alike is damn near perfect, so I didn't notice at first. But who else is in this game that I'm trying to think? I don't know if Clayton is the same voice actor or not. It sounds.
It doesn't sound like him. I can't tell though. Tarzan, I think, is the same guy.
Yeah, I think it is. He sounds very similar, if not the same guy. I think Jane is also the same voice actress.
I think so.
You know what's weird about that game, that world? Where the hell is the professor?
Oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah. Where is he?
I don't. What?
Yeah, he's just not in the game. It's just Tarzan, Jane, and Clayton.
And the monkeys.
Monkeys. Oh, gorilla.
I don't think Kerchak is in there.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is
He doesn't
Kerchak
talk,
in there?
but he's there.
Well, none of the gorillas talk because you can't speak gorilla.
No, there's a point where Tarzan's talking to Kerchak in gorilla speak, and someone said, "Did you get that?" And Donald's like, "Nope." So so Kerchak's in it, but he doesn't say a damn word.
Sora's voice actor hadn't hit puberty when this game came out, so he sounds very different than he does in every other appearance.
Yeah, I thought it was a different voice actor in future games. It was so
No,
goddamn
it's the same guy.
And he's still voicing him, and he's in his 30s or so now. Think about that.
You know, he's been voicing Sora since 2002.
Yeah, so 20 years later, it's like, what the fuck? Everyone was wondering, like, oh, is he going to reprise his role in Kingdom Hearts 3? I'm like,
yes.
Why would they get rid of him?
I mean, his voice is like part of Sora's character.
Yeah, you can't take that away. If you do, then you're kind of like fucking up.
But
Sora's actually pretty good in this game compared to future games. Future games, he's kind of stupid.
Graphically, this is one of the better PS2 games of the.
I'd say it's one of the best looking PS2 games, honestly.
No. It was one of the best looking early PS2 games. The second one completely destroys this graphic.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying in general for PS2, that's pretty fucking impressive.
Like the mouths are weird to me. Sometimes they're 2D images, and sometimes it's full mouths. It's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem that these games had until Kingdom Hearts 3, which I hate. But it's more so noticeable in Kingdom. It's way more noticeable in 1 because they did it a lot more.
Yeah, they did.
And it bothers me, but first time working on the new hardware, I guess. But then the PS2 was a little bit of a bitch to program for, at least for most developers. So the fact that they were able to get the graphical power out of the PS2 that they did is pretty impressive. Because PS2 was not known for a graphical powerhouse. It was the weakest of the 3 consoles of that generation.
But the Kingdom Hearts 1 is still a pretty fun game, all things considered. It's not the Kingdom Hearts game I tell you to play.
Obviously, you would have to start with Kingdom Hearts 1 first if you're going to play.
If you want to follow the story, you better start with this one.
Yeah, don't start with the prequels to this game, otherwise you'll ruin surprises.
Don't start. If you're going to play Kingdom Hearts, you have to play them in release order.
Yeah, that's why you should just get the HD collections. They have
the collections in the correct order. So
yeah, and they you can get something that has all the collections and the third game for like $40, $50.
And it has them all in the order they want you to play it in.
Yeah, because you don't want to play it from the beginning of the very beginning of the story to the end in that kind of chronological order, because that could fuck some things up with continuity, maybe. Or you'll sit there and be asking, why wasn't this from like Birth by Sleep? Why wasn't this mentioned in Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2? They weren't thinking about it at the time. Mostly.
But next up, instead of getting the proper sequel, we got a Game Boy Advance weird card game.
Yeah, we got a sequel, but it wasn't really a main sequel, I guess you could call it. It's like a half sequel.
Yeah, so this one's called Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which was a Game Boy Advance game that uses a card battle system.
Yeah, many people say the Game Boy Advance version is better than its PS2 remake, and from 2007.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't know how or why it is, but I just hear that it's better. I'm like, oh, okay.
The game style probably fits for the Game Boy Advance more than the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, because it feels like it's Kingdom Hearts 1, but with the card system, and it doesn't feel very fun. It's more fun
No,
as Riku, because you can play as Riku in that game in the PS2 remaster. But his version feels pretty damn fun compared to Sora's, because
I
it's
can't even
reversed.
say I can't even say the story's not that relevant because it ties directly into Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, so you have to pay attention to this game and play through this shitty game. Honestly, I hate it. I don't like the game. I'm just gonna be outright. I don't like it.
I don't either. I've never been
It's
able to
very
finish it. I have to just watch the story on YouTube because I'm just like, no, I can't play this game.
I was able to beat it back when I was a kid in 2007, but I tried playing the Riku's, but by then I was so burnt out I didn't care. And it does have a lot of things that you need to know for Kingdom Hearts 2, because otherwise if you jump from 1 right to 2, you're gonna be like, what? Who? What? What's going on?
Hold on, why is Sora here? Who is this kid? Why is Riku there? Like what why is this happening here? Like what?
Yeah, it's so annoying that they split off these games as like main story onto different consoles, literally every fucking console. Like
Like there
Game
are
Boy
some
Advance,
people
the
who
2DS,
only that's the
mobile
thing.
phone, and like from 2000s, the really shitty
Thank-
phone mobile games. Yeah,
Thankfully nowadays that's not really an issue anymore.
no, because handhelds are dead and consoles are pretty much it. Thank God.
And you can just get all the games on one set now. So
Yeah, and especially the handheld ones like Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance really benefit from being on consoles.
yeah, they do. But yeah, Chain of Memories, I don't really care for it. I don't care for the card system. I don't like how everything is reused. There's nothing
Yeah, nothing original.
except maybe the final boss.
And that was like way easier than the battle I did against Vexen, the guy with the shield.
Yeah,
And he has that weird laugh. He's got blonde hair. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, he was a bitch. I hated him. But once you figure out the card system, apparently you can just break the game in half. But I don't give enough of a fuck to learn it.
There's
It's
one
just
more
not
game I
fun.
want to talk about,
Hmm.
and that's 358 Days Over 2.
Dumbest title in the franchise, almost.
So it focuses on a new character named Roxas. Um,
Yeah,
Now, in Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora turned into a Heartless at one point. Okay.
cool.
Which, when you become a Heartless, a nobody is also created.
And what's weird is when a nobody of you becomes that, it's supposed to be a carbon copy of you. But why does Sora's nobody look different than him? That will be answered in Birth by Sleep.
But Sora got his heart back, so these two like exist at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
I
strange.
don't think
But
I don't think that was thought of at the time, but maybe it was. I don't know.
and you control a new character in 358 over 2 days named Roxas. To be 100% honest with you, I have never played this game. I've watched the movie version of it on the HD compilation. Never played the game.
I watched my cousin play on his DS and I tried it. Don't. Just don't. It's bad. Like you move with the D-pad and you use the touchscreen to move the camera.
Ew.
Yeah, you can play as multiple, like a lot of characters, like Mickey, Donald, Goofy. I'm not kidding, and some other characters, but it's not worth it. It was, and they knew it was not worth remaking because it's just not a good game in terms of like its gameplay loop,
So they turned it into a movie.
which was a half-assed movie because a lot of it was like still images with text saying, "Oh, they did this today, and then they went and did that." It's like, okay. And some of the cutscenes are kind of fucking weird because there'll be a moment where this original character Shion has her hood on, and then the next like angle she doesn't have her hood on. It's like, whoops.
I mean, it's part of the story, so you gotta watch it. But
Kind of sad actually.
it's probably the weakest bit, along with Coded, of the whole the whole franchise.
Yeah, but in terms of the story, it's probably one of the stronger ones because you get more background on Roxas and in this original character, Shion, where she just ends up no longer existing because she's just a creation of Sora's memories of Kairi, apparently. Weird.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we can talk about how far the Kingdom Hearts story up its own ass is, but that's not what we're here to do. So
yeah, no, it can get a little too melodramatic here and there, but you can still have a fun time with it.
So the next time we do one of these, it's going to be Sonic Adventure.
Ooh, let's go.
Two Sonic Adventure games. So
Outside.
let's stick around for that one. I don't know if we're gonna do another one of these before the end of the year. And if we don't, have a happy new year. I hope you guys had a great holiday. And when you walk away, you won't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't.
Please, oh baby, don't go. Simple and clean is the way you make me feel tonight. My God, that song is so bad, but it's so catchy.
To